welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about something that I think is very important and very meaningful. As a senior in high school, I get asked all the time, what are you going to do after high school, right? And I personally know what I want to do next because I feel God has called me to go to college and study Bible and pursue ministry after that. But I think sometimes it's very easy to either not know at all, to not have a calling, to not understand what God wants you to do in life, or you can have everything planned out, have your whole life written, your whole life like all exactly the way you want it. And I think that's dangerous, because here's why. So let's say this is your life, right? Let's say you're like me, you're a senior in high school, and afterward you want to go to college, right? You want to go to college, you want to, can you even see that? Sorry, I don't think you can see that. You want to go to college, you want to graduate in 4 years. You want to get married to that specific person that maybe you're already dating. It's a horrible heart, but you're gonna have to deal with that. And then you want to have, 5 kids. And you want your spouse to have a certain job. And you want to have a certain job. And you know exactly, you want your spouse to be a doctor, and you want to be a doctor. And ultimately, you've written your whole entire life out. You know exactly what you want, and that's how it's going to be. And I think that's dangerous. I think it's dangerous to write out your life. The Bible talks about, in a bit of a different context, says in Matthew 6, at the end of chapter 6, it talks about, do not be anxious about tomorrow, right? Because tomorrow can be anxious for itself. And in James, I think it talks about, don't say tomorrow I'm going to go into the market, for you do not know if you will perish before tomorrow, right? And that's a very harsh warning from James, but this is kind of what I'm getting at. Writing out your whole life founded on you, founded on what you want, is dangerous. Not just because it might not happen, but because when you build a foundation of your life on yourself, here's what can happen. Right? In John 10:10, Jesus talks about Satan, the thief, comes only to steal and kill and destroy. And when your whole life and your whole plans are founded on yourself and your trust and your confidence in yourself and what you want, that's pretty easy for Satan, who wants to steal, who wants to kill, who wants to destroy. He can come and he can destroy, he can steal, he can kill all of your plans. And what are you left with? A messy blob. Right? Your whole entire life, all your plans could come crashing down because they were built on yourself. It's kind of what the parable of the build your house on the rock, the wise man that built his house on the rock, and the foolish man who built his house on the soil, or on the sand. One stood steady when the rains of life came, and the other was washed completely away. So are you building your life, founding your life, planning out everything you want to do on yourself? Are you being your own God? Because here's the thing. When we let God write our lives, let God write our story, this is what happens. He says, Josiah, I want you to be a pastor. So I want you to study Bible. And I want you to I want you to go into the ministry. And I want you to become a pastor. And I have someone for you that you just maybe don't know yet. When all of this, your story, your life is founded on the rock, you let God write your story. Then when the rains of life come and the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy, guess what happens? He can try as hard as he wants, but your life has been founded on something stronger than yourself. And maybe he can get a few smudges in here and there. Maybe he can mess up a couple things. But ultimately, your life, your story has been written by God. And you've let God write your story. And you've followed what He's planned for you. That's not easily broken. That's not easily destroyed. Right? Let God write your story. Build your house on the rock. Have your faith and your trust and your confidence on something that is bigger than yourself. Something that the devil can't easily destroy. God has a plan for you. God has a purpose for you. All you have to do is you have to ask Him to reveal it to you. You have to have an open mind and an open heart. And you have to follow what He tells you to do. Even though it's hard. Even though it's not comfortable. It's not easy. It won't be exactly what you want. But the more you follow God's command, the more you step into the purpose that God has placed on you, the more you do that, the more fulfillment you will find, the more you will want what God has given you. And you'll find the hard times, and they might be a little easier because God is with you. God has written your story, and you have stepped into it, and you have built your house on the rock. You have written your story with a Sharpie. You've written your story with the permanent, not the temporary. I hope that meant something to you. Have an amazing week.